I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for Investment Pitch Media, and today on the Crypto Coin Show we have Omer Sadika, the co-founder of Odyssey Network. Omer, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much, Ashton, for having me today.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to dive into Odyssey, but I would love to kick off our conversation with just a little bit about you personally and your background in blockchain and how that led to you starting Odyssey, and then we'll dive into all the details.
Okay, sounds good. So my background, I'm coming from cybersecurity actually. So this is really my background. I'm originally from Israel. In Israel, I've been to the cybersecurity space ecosystem. I also started a category in security called API security, and the first company in this space. And also beside that, as part of crypto, I've been into crypto since Bitcoin started. So I've been more on the, more from the side of the ones that were fascinating about the technology at the beginning. And during the time wanted to be part of that more and more. And at certain point I said, look, the next thing that I'm going to do is going to be Web3, is going to be crypto for sure. And I really, really wanted to use my experience, really the way that I look into the space, the things that I believed that are really missing today in crypto and the real problems. So I really looked on, from when crypto started. So we had Bitcoin with this new concept of decentralization and the ability to transfer value, to transfer currency in a decentralized way, in a trustless way. And then we moved to Ethereum that brought the new concept, the new approach of DApps, decentralized applications. And I think those are the really large phases of crypto, right? So we have many blockchains, of course, we have many protocols, many solutions, but everything is based on those two phases. This is the way at least I looked on the market and the way that I really, really try to understand what is missing here. And when I connected that to my background in cybersecurity and something that I've seen in crypto since really crypto started, and since I've been to crypto, is access control. So access control is, to my opinion, is the #1 problem today. And it's really, really from the basic, right? So it's super hard to do that. It's super hard to build. If you're a builder, if you want to build something that requires access control, if you want to give a better experience for users in terms of access control, then it's so hard. And usually what happens is that most projects, they just build using their centralized tools because that's the easiest way to build robust solutions. And this is what we have been seeing, in the last 6 months, 8 months, with all the issues in crypto, right? So all of that is connected at the end of the day to access control, and specifically centralized access control. And that's really the point of Odyssey. So I came with my background, my experience in cybersecurity, and I really tried to connect that to crypto. And I wanted to use that to build the next phase in crypto that is connected to access control. And I believe this is what is really missing, a decentralized version of access control, which there is no simple way to do today. There is no simple option. So Odyssey is really all about decentralized access control, trustlessness, access control. That's really the idea.
Very interesting, and thank you for that background, Omer. Obviously, cybersecurity is important right now, especially in cryptocurrency, not just with centralized exchanges, but with decentralized exchanges and DeFi protocols as well. And we're still seeing both access control issues with centralized exchanges, like in FTX, but also in DeFi protocols are continuing to get hacked or manipulated in one way or another. I'm curious on where the main applications for Odyssey Network in access controls, where do they benefit the most? Is it with DeFi protocols that have large amount of funds locked in smart contracts and managing the access of that in a decentralized way? Or is it the centralized exchanges, or is it end users, or all of the above?
So that's a great question. It's really, really the core of what new Odyssey brings to the table. and it's all of the above. So first of all, from new use cases that weren't possible before, like think about decentralized custody. So retail custody, institutional custody, any type of custody, but without having centralized companies controlling the custody. So you can build on top of Odyssey as totally decentralized protocol, and it will be easy as writing a smart contract on Ethereum, right? To new type of use cases of marketplace of wallets, where you can trade a wallet as an asset, portfolio of NFTs that is multi-chain natively, for example. You can do a lot of that. If we're talking about the existing problem that we are all facing today, for example, centralized exchange, this is one of, I think, the top use cases for Odyssey and dWallets. So the basic of Odyssey is really the new concept that we came up with. We call it dWallet. The meaning of a dWallet is dynamic decentralized wallet. And the idea is that the wallet itself lives on Odyssey blockchain, on our blockchain. And it's also programmable and transferable. So you can write logic that control it. You do it with wallet contracts, which is a dedicated type of smart contracts that control the dWallet. And every dWallet has addresses on different blockchains, and it can sign transactions on different blockchains. It can have balances on different blockchains. Just think about your wallet. And when I say wallet, I'm not talking about the UI UX. I'm talking about the private key, the signing mechanism, right? The ciphers. I'm talking about that. So all of that you have with dWallets on Odyssey, and you can build on top of that. So it can also be smart wallet. You can write the logic that control it. And because you can do that, you can build new type of protocols. So a centralized exchange is a great example, because with Odyssey, you can build better centralized exchange. We call it this concept zero reserve exchange. And the difference is that you as the user, you don't have to give the assets to the exchange. Even if it's a centralized exchange, you can just give them permission to your dWallet. So they can just trade the tokens, and only when they have a real trade, and they can just use your assets, they can steal it, they can leverage that, they can do whatever they want with that, right? So you can build completely centralized solution exchange with KYC, with order books that is centralized, whatever you want, really. But at the same time, you can make sure as a user that you don't have to give the asset to the exchange, right? So this is, I think, one of the top use cases on Odyssey. We have other type of use cases. For example, you talked about DeFi. So think about loan protocol that you can give loan to users without asking them to transfer the assets to the smart contract. So you can hold Bitcoin with your dWallet, and I can give you loan, and I can trust the dWallet to make sure that if you can't pay me, I can liquidate your wallet. But you don't have to transfer the asset to my pool, to my smart contract, and it can also be natively multi-chain, right? Because dWallet support all the blockchains, all the different chains. So that's really the concept. We're coming with new paradigm, right? New concept. dWallet, we believe it can change the crypto space, the same as the apps have done. And we believe that this next phase, I believe this is the third phase of crypto, and it should be about access control. And we believe that the primitive, the building block of this next phase is dWallets.
That's incredible. Before you gave the full explanation, I was thinking about access controls as, for example, a multi-sig wallet. In the example of FTX, if Sam was able to move funds by himself without telling people, or if the CEO can move funds, that's obviously an access control. And having a simple, 2 or 3 multi-sig wallet where you need to have 3 people agree, or you need to have people on the other side of the transaction have one of the keys so that you're not able to move the funds. That sounds like a good example of access controls. But I feel like this takes it really to the next level with the dWallets of the customers ensuring that their funds can be traded but not stolen. I feel like that's a revolution in cryptocurrency, that taking wallets to the next level, not just for usability but for control of the funds inside of them.
Yeah, so first of all, you're correct. You can do all of the custody aspects using dWallets, right? You can build protocol for custody, for retail, which you can say that you need 3 out of 4 or 3 out of 5. You can build something that fits institutions, you can build something that fits funds, but this is just a small part of the use cases, of the possibilities that you have from dWallets and Odyssey.
And how long has your team been working on this, and where exactly is it at right now?
So we have been working on that from early this year. We started the project, we started Odyssey. The focus is mostly on the cryptographic side. We have a very large team of cryptographers. We brought the top in Israel and also all over the world. World-class cryptographers with a lot of experience because we're building something new. So in terms of the tech, we're working on a new MPC algorithm. So we're using MPC to implement dWallets on Odyssey. Our MPC is going to be very different, very unique from the existing MPC protocols because the existing one don't really fit the structure of a blockchain, right? They were designed more for centralized solutions, more from this perspective, which makes sense, makes a lot of sense, and that was the focus in the last few years. So we have the team of cryptographers. We're right now at the end of our new protocol, and hopefully soon we'll be able also to publish an academic article about it as well. In terms of the blockchain itself, so we are also building the blockchain. We are right now aiming to finish the testnet devnet soon. I hope that in the next 3-4 months we'll be able to go out with the first version. And the goal is to go out with a fully functional mainnet with dWallets and the concept closer to end of next year. So this time next year, that's really the goal. Of course, it can be delayed. I'm not promising that will be the dates, but that's right now our goal. That's the plan.
Definitely. And with the large development, especially of a full mainnet, it's always tentative, and there's a lot of variables. But that's really exciting to hear. And now with the protocol and the mainnet launch, obviously the dWallet is an important aspect of that, but does that also include, launching the decentralized applications on the network and sort of hosting them as a similar layer one, like Polygon or Solana, and having that wallet functionality, obviously with all of those applications, but is it the full applications also being launched on the network?
Yeah, so our goal is to be fully decentralized, permissionless, right? We don't want to control the projects. Of course, we're doing everything to help entrepreneurs, help teams, talents to build on top of us. We have few teams that right now working on Odyssey, building protocols. One of them just went out with the press release that they raised pre-seed of 3.9 million. Their name is fun.xyz. It was like a month ago they went out with a press release, and hopefully we'll soon hear about new projects, new companies. The focus right now from our perspective is to help talent teams, entrepreneurs, and again, if somebody hears about it and wants to join, wants to build on top of us, we'd love to hear from you. And that's really the goal right now, is to build those, I would say, 5 top use cases. Although I believe, it's like when Ethereum started and we had the concept of the apps. So we had the few first use cases that everybody thought about, but I think today it's much different, right? You have so much than the beginning. So I believe it will be the same with the Odyssey and dWallets. But for now, we have the top use cases and we're really trying to promote them. And the goal is to go out, and I don't know if with the DevNet testnet, but probably when we get closer to the mainnet, and to have the first few protocols on top of Odyssey, not just protocols, also solutions and products, but to have them out with the mainnet all together.
Okay, good to know. And I'm curious, there's a lot of focus on the security and access controls. Is there any extra implementations for privacy or data preservation for the users that are using the wallets?
That's one of the questions that I think everybody is asking us right now, and it makes a lot of sense. We're thinking about it. We have a few options because also from the cryptographic side, we're doing things that they're not existing in most blockchains today, right? So we have more freedom to play with those building blocks, also in terms of privacy. So we have some capabilities that we can leverage and add some privacy capabilities on top of the blockchain, and also we're thinking about them, but it's not something that we feel comfortable with saying right now, right? It's too early. Let's say later on, but of course we're thinking about it.
Yeah, that's great to know. And privacy is one of the functions of security is to make it more private as well. So I feel like it would be a nice add-on for that, especially to do something that could affect all these other blockchains that already have their infrastructure and a huge network effect, but don't necessarily have the privacy functions. And some of these major blockchains, it's pretty easy to transact with somebody and then find out their entire history and how much they have and where they've transacted and everything through the chain analysis, because public blockchains, it's all there for everyone to see. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about that. Now, what are your thoughts on where the market's going to be going in 2023? And do you think that will affect at all the development of Odyssey and when you're going to put the product out?
So we started the project when just the market started to shift. We didn't have a lot of issues with fundraising. I think what we're doing is pretty unique, so it's also probably about it. But my guess is that crypto is getting more and more mature, and the way I look on the market is it's a circle, and at the end of the day, right, it's go ups and down. Right now we're on the down in the circle. So the way I really look at that is, I believe probably by end of next year or probably early 24, the market will shift back. This is the way I believe. Also, if you look on the down market before that, like I think 2018, 2017, you can see how it behaves, right? The way that it should look like. But I really believe from the vision of the long term. So in our project, by the way, which I suggest to any founder and the entrepreneur, we created a new model. We call it a Nostos model, which is a 10 years lockup for the founders, right? Just for the founders. It's hard to ask that from everybody. And we have that also in the light paper. And really the idea is to look on the long term, because at the end of the day, right now it's the the winter, right? But probably in 1 year, 2 years, everything will get back. Maybe a year later. I think it's really all about the vision, all about the way that you look on crypto in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and it's not about the short term. Which I think also it's part of the way we look on that from our project. So we are, of course, a long-term project, and we want to build the next piece in crypto that will take crypto to that next phase, right? And it doesn't really matter, 1 year there or 1 year or another year, right? For us, it's exactly the same at the end of the day.
That's great to hear, and I always appreciate the long-term visions and multiple cycles, and each cycle the adoption grows bigger and the volatility gets smaller and the innovations improve. So I'm looking forward to seeing the dWallets released and more access controls and security. I think that'll be a major improvement to the industry. So best of luck working with that. And for the viewers and for the projects as well that you mentioned, of people that are interested in following along for the updates with the testnet and the road to mainnet for Odyssey, and to potentially get their project involved in the network, what is the best place for people to learn more?
So first of all, we have the website. We have odyssey.xyz. We have there the light paper, so we really suggest to read the light paper, where we describe a lot of from the market perspective, right, and also from the technical side. So we try to really write something that is very comprehensive, and people can also get some ideas from the initial use cases that they can take from us, but at the same time they can think about new type of use cases, new type of solutions that they can build. So it can be used to find things that you want to build, but also just a reference to think about new concept, new ideas. So I think to start from that. Also on the website, you can send us. So we have part for builders that want us to support them. So I really suggest to just write to us on the website, and that's really the best way to get to us and talk to us.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Omer. I'll leave the Odyssey Network links in the description box below as well. All the best on everything moving forward with dWallet, Odyssey Network, and moving into 2023. And let's definitely follow up into the near future.
Great. Thank you so much.